you felt like there was going to be a narrative and a comparison because we are seeing the next great quarterback play. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. But today on the Get Up crew on ESPN, there's comparisons now with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady about two quarterbacks. And Zach, I think you have an idea who they're talking about, Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. But they said there's a similarity to their skill sets, and it's not necessarily what Baltimore wants to hear. But let's play that clip for everyone and react on the other side.
Lamar Jackson is 10-1 against the Bengals. Let's take a look at some of his numbers. 11 of 13, 3 passing touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Alien.
And look at this. A year ago, he was the MVP. Now look at this year's numbers. How about 24 passing touchdowns, more rushing yards? He came in as the MVP favorite. You're shaking your head, RC.
Because I don't know what to say anymore, right? It's getting to the point that every week's going to be a Lamar Jackson praise fest. And I'm going to be honest, let's take away history and only focus on this season. He's the best player in the world. To me, that includes Patrick Mahomes, that includes Joe Burrow, and that includes any other non-quarterback you want to talk about in this conversation. It's only about winning a championship for Lamar Jackson right now. And based on his play, it's a no-brainer that they have everything offensively to do it. But if your defense can't stop a nosebleed, then you don't have a chance to beat a team like the Kansas City Chiefs who have a Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs who have a defense. And what makes me nervous is that Lamar Jackson wins his third MVP. We know he's the runaway, at least this season, best player in the world. And he's still sitting at home watching with us on Super Bowl Sunday because of a defense that is inept.
Yeah. Right now, Lamar Jackson is Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes is Tom Brady.
So right there, and Zach, I'll jump right to you. The comparison is saying, for those that don't remember, Peyton Manning had all the MVPs, was putting up video game numbers, but they couldn't win in the big game, and they couldn't dethrone at the time Tom Brady and the Patriots. Now, the thing was that Tom Brady had, obviously, there's no debate what Tom has accomplished as a football player on the field, but the Patriots defense and their team always found a way. So to that point, Zach, agree, disagree with the comparison, even though it's still early in Lamar's career, but there could be some similarities.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. It's a weird, unfortunately spot because when you get compared to Peyton Manning, that's a great thing.
It's a great thing.
It's a great thing. Not necessarily in this context when you're talking Super Bowls, but he is. Peyton Manning, like you said, it's the video game numbers. It was going out there, the MVPs on MVPs. The only thing he couldn't do was get to that big game early on in his career. Lamar Jackson now has this opportunity to prove that narrative wrong, to go out there and win a Lombardi and take that narrative away of, hey, he's like Peyton Manning because it's just MVPs and not the rings to show for it. And he goes into that next realm of, okay, this is one of the greatest quarterbacks, already should be, but one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen play the game.
And he is, and we should celebrate the greatness. And for anyone that wants to try to keep bringing Lamar down or bring Mahomes or Allen, these guys are studs. And, this is a great time to watch football. But the point of it is quarterbacks get the glory, Zach. We know that. When they play well, they get the glory. But when they play well and the team loses, they get blamed. Like Joe Burrow, let's give an example last night. Joe Burrow was sensational. But some people are still going to find a way with the Bengals sitting with the record that they have at 4-6 that Joe Burrow is the main if he did more, the team would be better. Yeah. And that's how people view Lamar Jackson in that case. And I hate that for him, but that's going to be the reality in the uphill battle for Baltimore. You're going to need a defense to step up down the stretch. We saw it last year in the postseason, and typically for postseason, Zach, teams that go on a run, they have something that clicks. Yeah, you can click offensively, but it usually stems from your defense stepping up and making plays. Kansas City probably had their worst offense in the Andy Reid, Mahomes era, and yet their defense was probably the best it had been, and that helped guide them to a Super Bowl. Obviously, Mahomes had great moments, but that's what we're going to deal with. We mentioned in the past where this Ravens defense ranks. They're at the bottom tier of points allowed per game. They're dead last in passing yards, and that is something that would be exposed by some of the greats in the postseason, a.k.a. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, if this team's going to win, the defense needs to be able to make the play. And it's not always about you got to be the 2000 Ravens. You don't have to replicate what they did last year. It's probably not possible with the way they're playing, but what they need to do is continue to make the play. And what I'm talking about is the Marlon Humphrey interception against Joe Burrow in the first game, the punch out on Chase Brown in this second game. They need to make that one play each game that just changes the momentum, that sort of puts their swagger back on. It doesn't have to be 60 minutes of pure domination, but when it's the brightest, the biggest moments out there, they need to make the play. Last night, talk about the controversial face mask, holding all that. The play, 2-point conversion, win or go home. Like, this is one play. That incredible game came down to 2 yards, one play, and the Ravens made it happen. They made the play. You don't have to make the plays every single time. You're going to get beat, but they need to make the play if they're going to go deep into the postseason.
You got to step up, right? Momentum shifts, momentum plays, and it doesn't matter who it is, but someone has to. The other side on the offensive side of the ball for Baltimore, Tylan Wallace, man. And I know everyone had Tylan Wallace over 100 yards receiving, obviously, for this game.
Yeah, easy.
Obviously, but again, he stepped up in a big way. Rashad Bateman having the game-winning touchdown in that case, and then guys like, yes, Mark Andrews make his plays, and Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson. Along the way, when momentum shifts, you got to take control of it. The offense did, the defense had the spark, but to finish it off, you got to have finishing plays, and that's going to differentiate whether Baltimore is going to get past their postseason woes and get back to the Super Bowl, or they're stuck in the mud yet again. Because I'll tell you what, though, Zach, if Cincinnati gets into the playoffs, that team's going to be a tough out. And the Ravens, if they have to play Buffalo again, Kansas City, all these teams are going to give them their best shot. And it's going to come down to maybe 1 or 2 moments in the game that can set the tone.
Yep, that's it. You got to be able to, when the moment's the biggest, lights are the brightest, you have to make the single play. Whether it's forcing a turnover, whether it's just simply stopping them on 4th down, big 3rd down conversions, holds, whatever it is, you need to make the big play when it matters the most. And give them credit. Ravens defense has not been great all year. It's been pretty downright bad at times, but they've come up with the big plays when they needed it.
Yep. And that's the thing. And it's even better when you win games. It gives you more time to figure it out and not be in the mode like, say, the Bengals are in, where you don't have the margin for error anymore. But if hey, guys, you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button. The Ryan Ripken Show, we go live every Monday and Thursday, and when the Ravens are playing on game days here. So follow along. We're live at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays and Thursdays. We'll see you guys soon.